Lavanify is a mammalian genus from the late Cretaceous, probably Maastrichtian, about 71 to 66 million years ago, of Madagascar. The only species, L. miolaka, is known from two isolated teeth, one of which is damaged. The teeth were collected in 1995-1996 and described in 1997. The animal is classified as a member of Gondwanatheria, an enigmatic extinct group with unclear phylogenetic relationships, and within Gondwanatheria is a member of the family Sudamericidae. Lavanify is most closely related to the Indian Bharattherium. The South American Sudamerica and Gondwanatherium are more distantly related. Gondwanatheres probably ate hard plant material. Lavanify had high-crowned, curved teeth. One of the two teeth is 11.2 mm high and shows a deep furrow, and is centered laterally in the crown, a V-shaped area that consists of dentine. The other, damaged, tooth is 9.8 mm high and has at least one deep cavity. Infundibulum. Characters shared by the teeth of Lavanify and Bharattherium include the presence of an infundibulum and a furrow. They both also have large, continuous bands of matrix, unbundled hydroxyapatite crystals between the prisms, bundles of hydroxyapatite crystals of the enamel, and perikymata, wave-like ridges and grooves in the enamel surface. Discovery and context. Two teeth of Lavanify were discovered in 1995-1996 during joint expeditions of the State University of New York, Stony Brook University, and the University of Antananarivo to the late Cretaceous, mostly Maastrichtian, about 71 to 66 million years ago. Maya, Maverano Formation of northwestern Madagascar. The two teeth were found in different sites in a white sandstone unit of the Maverano Formation, near the village of Beravotra, and have been deposited in the collections of the University of Antananarivo, specimen UA 8653, and Field Museum of Natural History, specimen FMN HPM 59520. David W. Krauss and colleagues described Lavanify and a Sudamericid from India, which they did not name, in a 1997 paper in Nature. These were the first Gondwanatherium mammals to be found outside of Argentina and provided evidence that the mammal faunas of the different Gondwanan southern continents were similar to each other. The generic name, Lavanify, means long tooth, and the specific name, miolaka, means curved in Malagasy. Both refer to the teeth's shape. Gondwanatheres are a small group of mammals of uncertain phylogenetic affinities known from the late Cretaceous to the Eocene. Approximately 56 to 34 Maya of the Gondwanan continents, known only from teeth and a few lower jaws. Upon their discovery in the 1980s, Gondwanatheres were initially thought to be xenothrons, part of the same group as living sloths, armadillos, and anteaters, but later workers have favored affinities with multituberculates, a diverse group of fossil mammals, or left the relationships of the Gondwanatheres open. The group comprises two families. The family Phylogenetheriidae, whose members had low crown teeth, occurs in the Campanian, approximately 84 to 71 Maya, to Maastrichtian of Argentina. All other Gondwanatheres, including Lavanify, are placed in the Sudamericidae, which have high-crowned, hypsodont teeth. These include Gondwanatherium from the Campanian and Maastrichtian of Argentina, Sudamerica from the Paleocene, approximately 66 to 56 Maya, of Argentina. Lavanify, at least one species from the Maastrichtian of India. An unnamed species related to Sudamerica from the Eocene of Antarctica, and an unnamed possible Gondwanathere. TNMO2067. From the Cretaceous of Tanzania. In 2007. Teams led by G. P. Wilson and G. V. R. Prasad independently described this animal as Dakshina and Bharattherium respectively, as the latter name was published first. It is the correct name for this genus according to the principle of priority. Gondwanatheres have been interpreted as feeding on roots, bark, unabrasive vegetation or as the earliest grass-eating mammals. Several other mammals have been recorded from the late Cretaceous of Madagascar, mostly on the basis of isolated teeth. A possible second Gondwanathere is represented by a tooth that is larger and lower crowned than those of Lavanify, and a yet lower crowned tooth may also be of a Gondwanathere. A lower molar, UA 8699, may be of a marsupial or a placental, and a molar fragment is referable to multituberculata. Finally, an as yet undescribed mammal is known from a fairly complete skeleton. None of these mammals is related to the living mammals of the island, many of which belong to unique groups. See List of mammals of Madagascar. The fauna also contains crocodiliforms, dinosaurs, and other animals. Description: Lavanify is known from the complete cheek tooth UA 8653 and the broken tooth FMNHPM 59520. Krauss and colleagues could not determine whether the teeth were from the lower or upper jaw and whether they were molars, a molariform, molar-like, premolars, but suggested that they represented two different tooth positions. However, Wilson and colleagues in 2007 tentatively identified UA 8653 as a left fourth, last, lower molariform, MF4, because molars and premolars of Gondwanatheres cannot be reliably distinguished. The term molariform is used instead. FMNHPM 59520 resembles the Gondwanatherium fossil MACNPVRN 1027, a broken tooth that may be an upper molariform. In both Lavanify teeth, the enamel surface features perikymata, ridges and grooves arranged in a transverse, wave-like pattern. UA 8653. The holotype is hypsodont and curved. It is 11.2 mm high, of which the crown makes up about 85%, and the dimensions of its crown are 3.4 by 3.2 mm. The occlusal, chewing, surface is worn flat and contains a V-shaped island of dentine surrounded by enamel. One side of the crown lacks enamel. Between the two arms of the V, at the lingual, inner side of the tooth, is a furrow filled with cementum, which extends all the way through the tooth. The presence of such a long furrow distinguishes it from Gondwanatherium. The enamel is made up of small, round prisms, bundles of hydroxyapatite crystals, that are separated by large, continuous bands of interprismatic matrix, IPM. The material between the enamel prisms, FMNHPM 59520, is 9.8 mm high. It is similar in many respects to UA 8653, but is less curved, and its occlusal surface contains a large infundibulum, funnel-shaped cavity, filled with cementum and surrounded by enamel that penetrates deeply into the tooth. There is also either a second infundibulum or a cementum-filled furrow. The differences in degree of curvature and occlusal morphology suggest that this tooth represents a different tooth position than UA 8653. Krauss and colleagues tentatively placed this tooth in Lavanify in view of the considerable variation among other Gondwanathere teeth of a single species, and in the absence of evidence to the contrary. Relationships. In their original description, Krauss and colleagues suggested that Lavanify was most closely related to the then unnamed Indian Sudamericid. They based this proposed relationship on the shared presence of prominent, continuous bands of IPM. The teams who named the Indian Gondwanatheria in 2007 both agreed with this proposed relationship. In their description of Dakshina, Wilson and colleagues added the presence of an infundibulum and a perikymata to the evidence for the relationship between the two. These three characters are synapomorphies, share derived traits. For the Bharattherium Lavanify clade, they also share the presence of furrows on the lingual side of the teeth only. But whether this is a derived feature is uncertain. Wilson and colleagues list two autapomorphies, unique derived traits, of Lavanify: presence of a V-shaped dentine island and absence of enamel on one side of the crown. Prasad and colleagues who named Bharattherium noted the absence of enamel on part of the crown of a Bharattherium tooth and interpreted this trait as a synapomorphy of Bharattherium and Lavanify. They also mentioned the presence of a furrow and infundibulum as shared traits. Literature cited Gurovich, Y. 2005. Bioevolutionary aspects of Mesozoic mammals. Description: phylogenetic relationships and evolution of the Gondwanatheria. Late Cretaceous and Paleocene of Gondwana. Ph.D. Thesis. Universidad de Buenos Aires. XIII plus 546 pp. Gurovich, Y. and Beck, R. 2009. The phylogenetic affinities of the enigmatic mammalian clade Gondwanatheria. Subscription required. Journal of Mammalian Evolution 16. 25-49. Krauss, D. W. Prasad, G. V. R. von Königswald, W. Sarni, A. and Grein, F. E. 1997. Cosmopolitanism among Gondwana and Late Cretaceous mammals. Subscription required. Nature 390. 504-507. Krauss, D. W. O'Connor, P. M. Rogers, K. C. Sampson, S. D. Buckley, G. A. and Rogers, R. R. 2006. Late Cretaceous terrestrial vertebrates from Madagascar. Implications for Latin American biogeography. Subscription required. Annals of the Missouri Botanical Garden 93. 2. 178-208. Prasad, G. V. R. 2008. Sedimentary basins and fossil records. pp. 90-96 in Singhvi, A. K. and Bhattacharya, A. eds. Glimpses of Geoscience Research in India. The Indian Report to IUGS 2004-2008. New Delhi. The Indian National Science Academy. INSA. Prasad, G. V. R. Verma, O. Sarni, A. Krauss, D. W. Kosler, A. and Parmar, V. 2007. A new late Cretaceous Gondwanatherian mammal from central India. Proceedings of the Indian National Science Academy 73. 1. 17-24. Wilson, G. P. Das Sama, D. C. Anantharaman, S. 2007. Late Cretaceous Sudamericid Gondwanatherians from India with paleobiogeographic considerations of Gondwanan mammals. Subscription required. Journal of Vertebrate Paleontology 27. 2. 521-531.